times in his rhymes, cause his memories. We running through New York, so you never leave. Strap my lungs, then we puffin' through with that right. But giving them some stories, they come back like manic this, manic that, why you crawling to me? The hell we...
Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over all the things that were broken on my BMW E60 when I bought it, because as many of you guys know, I went over what was broken on my M2 engine when I bought it, but I never showed you what was actually broken on my BMW E60. So let's go over what actually was broken on this car and what I had to repair, so you guys get a drift of like all the common minor damage parts and some parts that don't even relate to you, which this car actually had wrong. So let me show you all the parts that were broken on this car. So the first one, guys, as you'll see here, is the mirror cover. Now, when I purchased this car, the mirror cover was completely mashed and completely like just disintegrated from obviously being sat in the sun for too long. So I had to replace the mirror cover on this car. I was very lucky and I did find one in the same place from a BMW dealer online, and they actually had it in this colour, and I got very, very lucky to find it. It was the only one, it was only this side. So I did replace that. That was the first thing that was wrong with this car. The next thing that was wrong with this car was the badges on here. Someone had ended up going and putting the carbon fibre badges on this car, which was absolutely disgusting. It was on here and obviously on the rear of the car as well, which I ended up replacing, which was the badges. As many of you guys know, people like to put them stupid carbon fibre ones all over and it makes it look horrible, so I put it back to original ones, which are now here, and we've got the original colour BMW logos back on. I also had them on the steering wheel of the car as well, which many of you guys probably remember if you've seen my verse videos. I had a black one on there. We got that one off and we put it back to normal as well, because it just didn't suit the look, and so I had to remove it. It's a common thing in this country, putting carbon fibre ones. The next one on these guys was the tyres. As many of you guys know, I had to go and replace all of the tyres on this car, and that was purely because when I got it, the tyres were completely mashed up. They had all different brand tyres on it, where someone had just been replacing when they needed and putting the other run flats back on. So I went and got all fully original run flat tyres on this car, and like I said, end up getting a lifetime guarantee on them for puncture, and if they were to blow out while I'm driving, they'll come out and get me and replace the tyre for free of charge. That was an extra £180 on top, which is transferable to the new owner as well, which is a good thing to have on this car. The next thing I did on these was the brakes, pads and discs. Now you guys will remember when I first started YouTube, I did all that, and that was purely because they were completely knackered as well. The discs had a lip on them. They were completely demolished, so I replaced all the brakes and overhauled that, as well as doing the handbrake, because as you guys know on BM, the handbrake on these is not very tight and it will not hold if you don't change that, which I end up doing as well. I also went and done stainless steel drop links, because the drop links were completely shot on this as well, which were very, very easy to change on it. I changed them out when I first got the car as well, because they had excess play in them. So I changed them out as well. It's another video I didn't do. Which on this car that I ended up doing was in the interior side. Now, as many of you guys don't know, I'm very picky. I went and bought a whole new shifter knob, because the aluminium bit, and I mean completely scratched. Now, people always have got a habit on these E60s for scratching off this layer to make it clean again. I ended up going and buying a whole new gear knob, and that's purely because it was completely demolished, and from obviously people using moisturizer a lot on their hands, so it was completely just gone and faded. So I ended up replacing that. I also had to replace this aluminium trim piece, because it was completely damaged and coming off the door and wouldn't stay put, which I ended up replacing as well. When I first got this E60, I took a look at the car and it was just completely damaged. We did replace that as well, which wasn't expensive. I managed to find the whole interior trim for this car, and I just used the bit that I needed, and I used the rest, as many of you guys would have seen in the E61 that I had as well. So I replaced all the LED bulbs as well, as you'll see here and in the rear, and that was purely because as well in this car, when I got it, most of the bulbs were gone, which I'd never seen in the map lights, as you'll see right here. Now the map lights all work, fully functioning, but they weren't working when I got the car, so I had to replace all them. I don't know what happened there. So we redid that as well. We also had to replace the battery, as many of you guys will know, which sits underneath here. We put in a new battery in this car as well, because the battery was completely gone, and it was knackered. It was original BMW one, so we took that out, as you guys probably know on my videos, and we replaced it for another brand new battery, which is another thing I ended up doing. The next one I ended up replacing was the exhaust system. Now, as a lot of you guys know, I didn't replace this because it needed. I just wanted a straight through pipe and a custom stainless steel exhaust, which is what I got. Well, back end only, not from the cats down, which I am planning to do later on this car, but we'd end up doing these. We did them. I'm very happy with the outcome of these as well, but it didn't need changing. It's just something I did change because they, like I said, they were all faded and mashed up, and as you guys know, on the E60s the normal exhausts don't do it really much justice with the noise. Apart from that, guys, I didn't really need to replace much other things on this car. When I actually got it, they had serviced it, but apart from that, the majority of the stuff, you probably noticed I've done the plates as well. I changed all them over. That was just for the sake of it. Didn't need changing. I chose to change them. I just want to let people know that they didn't actually need changing, but we did change that. Another thing I will go state, guys, is when I got this car as well, this black grille piece was missing. Common problem of many E60s I see all over the place. That black grille piece, they come out as you see here for the sport bumpers, and you'll see that it disconnects. That part was missing as well. I ended up replacing that, and I found the bit. It wasn't expensive. I think it was like £25 for it, but that was replaced as well. I did have a receipt for the towing eye being replaced, a new towing eye cover in the receipts in the folder for it when I first purchased it. That was also replaced. I think someone had put that out and lost it, and the old owner knows that as well. That was, so we ended up getting a new one of them, which was already on there when I bought it. I have got to change these side repeaters because, as you see, they're a bit faded in colour. They're a bit like condensated, so we are going to be changing them over to new ones. I've got to order a new pair of them anyway, even though they're still passing MOT, but I just want them to be a lot clearer than what they are, because I feel like they're fading out and they don't look that great. A lot of you guys will notice as well, I get this asked a lot, is the condensation in the headlight. If you see mine has it as well. That is perfectly normal, and it doesn't mean your headlight's cracked or anything like that, because this doesn't have no cracks, none of them do. It's just perfectly normal to get this, but when you've got the car running at constant, or if it's hot outside, you'll notice that your condensation will disappear. Many people will tell you to use a hairdryer on it to dry it all out, but it's not going to make any difference, if I'm honest with you. It's not going to do any justice. If you buy another headlight, it's going to do exactly the same. If you realise, if you drive the car and you leave your lights on all the time when you're driving the car, you'll notice that the condensation will clear up, and that's because of the heat that's reflecting off the halogen going inside and causing a lot of heat inside, which dries it all up anyway. And if you look at the other one doesn't have it, which is quite common on these. One of them will get it and the other one won't. And if you guys will know as well, the next thing we changed on this is when I got it, it had the black grills. Now, as many of you guys know, I'm not a lover of the black grills, and we ended up changing them back to chrome, original chrome ones. The guy is on my channel who I actually purchased these from on eBay, because he changed them over to black and I wanted them to go back to chrome. It's not my sort of look to have the black grills on it. I prefer it all in the chrome with all the bling, and that's what we end up doing. You guys remember as well that we took them black ones off and put the chrome ones back on. For me, I just like the chrome. It's just personal preference, as I tell a lot of people. Some people like the black, some people like the chrome, but I just like the chrome ones. Suits the look of BMW, and it's what BMW is made for, to look like this, and I prefer this nice look on the front. Then that black look, I don't feel like it does it any justice. This look makes it look like a premium car coming down, and keeps the premium look on this car. So the next thing that needed replacing, guys, as you'll see here, which is a common problem which I'm asked all the time, is the iDrive unit. When I purchased this car, the iDrive unit was flickering and not working properly. I ended up sorting that out myself and repairing the unit when I first got the car, because it drove me nuts where it kept rebooting and it kept showing the BMW logo, and then it kept rebooting. It wasn't accepting a disc, it wasn't playing CDs. So we ended up repairing the whole unit, and it's been fine ever since, thank God, since I've redone all the chips and I've made it work. It boots up first time, as you guys will see on my car. It doesn't lag, it uses the sat nav, it uses the CDs, and I've had no issues, thank God, since I've done that. Like I said, I do have plans to retrofit the CIC, so I'm not really worried, but that was another thing that did fail. It is a common problem. I've done it all, repaired it all, and it's been fine ever since. I've had no issues. And if you guys want to know how OCD I am about my cars, when I got this car, this vent here was cracked and damaged, and when I was on the forecourt purchasing this car, I actually ordered already in advance this trim and everything while I was sitting in the car having a look around there. I was already ordering all the parts this car needed before I'd even got home, so they were already on the way by the time I purchased this car, because I knew I was going to purchase it. So I'd already had a new one of these coming, because that was sending me crazy the whole way home, knowing that this was all cracked. So we replaced all that as well. Like I said, guys, there's been a lot I've replaced on this car. I end up replacing, I believe as well, the speaker inside here, because it was blown as well on this side. We don't know why. I end up redoing the wiring on it, and I fixed it. It's another thing I forgot to say, that the speaker inside this door I end up redoing. As you see, no damage on the door card anywhere. It's all been properly done. I did it all properly. I've took these door cards off enough on all these E60s to know right from wrong and what to do and what not to do on them. So I know this electrical system very well. But yeah, the speaker was popped on this side. I have no idea why. I don't know what someone tried to do, but I end up rectifying that speaker and it's back working now finally. So like I said, there has been a lot that was wrong with this car when I got it, but it was all niggly little bits. And I end up repairing and rectifying on my own. And I spent a lot of time rectifying all the issues on this car, which I did, and I'm very happy with the outcome of this car now. So there you have it, guys. I've just gone over everything that was wrong with my BMW E60, and like I said, these are all niggly little bits, and a lot of people get these E60s with more serious problems than I did. I got very, very lucky when I bought mine, as they were giving me like nearly a year warranty, so they weren't going to give me anything that was going to end up costing them money in the long run, or they're going to have to spend money. So I got very, very lucky, and I purchased this E60 with only the niggly little bits, which I end up rectifying anyway. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have enjoyed it, please go to my Instagram page below. This is BMW Dr. Dean here. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.
This one's from the heart. I made a promise to myself and my fam that I would go hard. Beat through times, no cash, I'm a wallet, no cash, I'm a card. And life situations have a man's mind frame scarred. But it don't stop me waking up in the morning thinking to myself, I will break through.